Have you ever considered adding a book to your local small business? By local small business, I basically mean, do you have a business with a physical address where the customers come to you or you go to the customers? That's who this video is made for. If you have an online business already, you're going to pretty much know some of the information that I'm talking about. But if you haven't yet ventured online, other than maybe creating a website or some social media, then this video is for you. This video is made for the small business owners who are limited by their small businesses because of their physical address. I want to talk to you today about what the potential of creating your own book can do for your business. There are 3 things that are going to greatly impact your business if you have a physical location, and a book can help actually balance out the deficits that are going to happen to your business. In this video, I want to talk to you today about 3 different things that are going to limit you as a small business owner with a physical address. One of those things is how you're limited by your local market. Basically, how far your customers are willing to travel to get to you, or how far you're willing to travel to get to your customers. 2, I want to talk to you about Google and the changes that they have made recently that are also going to impact how many people find your business or come to your business. And 3, I want to talk to you about the business growth curve of what I've seen in doing 20 years of business research that shows how most businesses have a hard time getting past the first year, but generally the 3rd year is the hardest. And the 5th year is generally where you're going to start to actually see real growth. So how to get past those bumps if you're in your first 5 years of business. And even if you're not in your first 5 years of business, I believe that adding a book to your business can help any business at any level, including online businesses, get to the next level. Let's jump into this and talk about the 3 ways that a book can help your business and why you should consider doing it. Because this month I plan on doing a series on just creating books for small businesses to help their business get to the next level. Why should you have an ebook for your small business? One of the YouTubers I watch is a business guru by the name of Cody Sanchez. She will often say in almost every video she makes that most businesses do not make it past the first year of being open. Many will close even in the 2nd year. Then she generally wraps it up with somewhere around 10 years, pretty much. A huge percentage of businesses have folded. As a business researcher, I can definitely tell you that what I have seen as far as growth goes is that usually your first year you do fairly well. And if you're not doing fairly well, that does not bode well for your business. The 2nd year, you will also do even better than the first year. But generally, most businesses have a dip in the 3rd year. And this isn't necessarily because the business has an issue. It's usually because of how interested the customer is in new businesses versus businesses that have been in the area for a while, that they have already established in their mind what the reputation of that business is. What I have seen doing research for 20 years for businesses, big businesses, small business, all types of businesses, is that the growth curve goes up the first 2 years, and then in the 3rd year, it takes a massive dip, and it goes below what the first year was in both attendance and sales, profits, however you want to establish that. Then after the 3rd year, it starts to go back up again. Usually by the 5th year, it comes about even with where you were at the 2nd year. So it's very important that if you are a new business within that 5-year roller coaster, you want to bring in extra streams of income to make sure that you can stay afloat. And instead of taking that big drop, you can continue to grow and get out of that up and down curve for business. So adding an ebook can be a great way to do that because you can bring in a passive income stream and you basically take your book outside of the limitations of your market. Which brings me to lesson 2. What are the limitations of your small business market? As I said, I have been doing research for big businesses for over 20 years. And I know for every single research project we do, that there is a limitation to every single business with a physical address. If you are a smaller business and you are not in a mall or an outlet shopping center, your market is anywhere from 3 miles to 10 miles. That is usually how far a customer is willing to drive to get to your business. If you are in a mall or an outlet shopping center, or if you're a theme park, they're usually willing to drive 25 or even 50 miles, depending on how many shopping malls are within that 25 to 50 mile radius already. They're only willing to drive up to 50 miles if they don't have other options in their market. Shopping malls are generally spaced out fairly well to make sure that there's not too many within a market. If you have a restaurant, if you have a store, if you have a gym, again, there's a lot of competition with those businesses. And if you're a lone solo business doing that, your market gets smaller. And one of the reasons that it gets smaller is because of the time it takes to complete the experience in your business. If you're a restaurant, you probably already know that most customers will stay in your business anywhere from 15 minutes to maybe an hour. That's generally the length of time it takes somebody to eat and move on. If they have a party and there's a large group of people, then they might hang out for 2 hours. If you're a retail business and you have clothes, you will find probably that most of your customers stay anywhere from 5 to maybe 25 minutes, maybe half an hour. They don't generally spend an hour there unless you have all new clothes. But a lot of times, if they're your regular customers, they've been in your business often enough to know what you already have, and they're just coming in to look at the new stuff. So the amount of time they spend in your business gets smaller, which means they don't want to drive an hour if they're only going to spend 10 minutes in your shop. If you're in construction, obviously you go to them, and the length of time you work with your customer basically depends on the project that you're working on with them. Same thing if you're in a mobile business, say that you groom dogs maybe, then you are going to go a certain distance in order to groom somebody's dog and then come back. If you charge $50 to groom someone's dog, you're not going to want to drive more than 50 miles because that's going to take up a lot of gas, especially if you're in a truck that's a gas guzzler. So again, these are all limitations of your market. By creating a book, you're basically expanding your market to worldwide. You're basically breaking free of the limitations that a physical address has on your business. Which brings me to point 3, how Google AI can hurt your small business and how an ebook can counter that. I want to talk to you about the Google AI that's appearing and the changes that Google have made in the last few months or so, and that is pretty much going to remain. That is 1, sponsored ads, and 2, the AI answer bot that they're using when people search for something. As a researcher, I use Google a lot. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop over Google and I'm going to punch in, hey, I'm looking for a restaurant in this town. That's the other part of my business. I'm also a flight attendant. I use Google and Google Maps all the time to try to find businesses. Google Maps, they haven't touched yet, but Google Search is going to give me first sponsored ads along the top. And if you're not paying for ads, you're not showing up in that top part at all. Next, they're going to show me the AI answer to whatever my question was. And they get this answer by looking at all of these websites that are on the rest of that front page, stripping all of the information from all of those websites, shoving it into a blender, blending it up and mashing it all into something so that way it cannot be called plagiarism because it is no longer the same thing that it was before it went into there. And that's basically going to summarize all of this information and create an answer in a nice little paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs for the person that's searching for it, which means if you're a local business and somebody is looking for your business and they have a question that your business can answer, maybe the answer lies on your website, Google's not going to show them your website. They might show it. And if you manage to get on that first page, it's going to be under the ads and it's going to be under the AI generated answer. And it's going to be down here somewhere. But the question is, how far down the page are your customers willing to go to find you? Especially if they don't know you exist, or if they do know you exist, but it's been a while since they've thought about your business. What does this mean for your small business? Hopefully you're already following along with me and things are starting to percolate in your brain, but I'm going to try to answer this question the best I can. Those 3 things that I just mentioned, the way that they affect you is that 1, your market is already limited and people are only willing to travel so far to get to you, and you're only willing to travel so far to get to them as well. On top of that, you've got the fact that the first 5 years are generally the most difficult in a business. And if you're in that first 5 years, you really need to consider passive income streams in order to help keep your business afloat during that time. Because after all, you just spent all of this time and money to open your business if you're in the first 5 years. You don't want to close the doors before you really get a chance to take off with your business. Then with less than 3, Google might very well be blocking your customers from finding you. So what do? That's where books and eBooks can really come in handy when it comes to those 3 problems. First of all, by creating a book or an ebook, you are actually creating a digital product and you can now expand outside of your market. And there's ways to do this for free. It's super easy. I'm going to be making videos on how to do this for the rest of January, but it's going to actually allow you to expand outside of your market and it's going to create a passive income stream for you. That's solution 1. Solution 2 is that you can create another product in your book that's branded, that's got your logo, your information that can help you sell something else to your customers, but that is also going to have your company's name and logo on it so that when they see this at their house, they're going to remember you. A lot of businesses do things like magnets and cards, postcards, stuff like that. I always felt that was just a huge waste of money because that's going to go in the trash. But think about if you were to have an actual physical book, your customers are going to be less likely to throw that out until it's no longer of use for them. A lot of times with the book, people will actually just donate the book to a library or a thrift store. Now, if somebody else in the area is going to find that book and they're going to be curious if they should happen to see your logo on a book and then on a business later, they might check you out for it. The third thing is if you were to create an ebook, you can create a mailing list with the customers that come in by offering them something for free that they can download by simply giving you their email. Once you've got their email, this allows you to advertise to them for free. So you're basically going around Google completely and creating your own database of customers. You can, again, remind them of your business whenever you want to without having to pay for Google ads. How would I create an ebook for my business? Hopefully at this point, you're thinking, okay, maybe that is a solution, but I don't really know anything about publishing. I don't know what I would add to my business. Well, let's talk because this is where I come in. There are basically 3 types of books. There is low content, medium content, and high content books. And with stuff like KDP, which is Amazon's self-publishing platform, you don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is be able to create a Word document, format it, and upload it into Amazon, and you can create ebooks and print-on-demand books without ever having to pay for anything. That's free. Also, you can create an ebook to go with your email list, which is basically, again, creating a Word document, formatting it, and then saving it as a PDF or printing it to a PDF. Super easy, already installed in Word. As long as you know how to use Word, then you'd be able to create an ebook very easily. Now, you may be thinking, but I don't know how to write a book. Again, that's where low content, medium content, and high content comes in. If you were to create an ebook for your business, it doesn't have to be long. It could be a few pages. It could be 10 pages. It's basically something that you would teach to your customers about how to do anything. Let's say you're a restaurant. Your ebook could be 3 dessert recipes that are super easy and fun to make with kids if your business gets a lot of families. This could be something that people could only get by putting their name on your email list. It could even be just 1 recipe. High content is basically something that is written out. It could be something that you already have. You could also use AI software like ChatGPT to create something. Just don't go run off and do that yet, though, because later in the month, I'm going to show you how to do that in a way that you're not getting dinged for plagiarism, and you won't get kicked in the rear by Amazon because they're cracking down on AI. Low content would mean that there's basically nothing in the book. Journals are usually considered low content. So if you're a restaurant, you could create a journal that allows your customers to add their own recipes. Think about that. How would you write a blank recipe book if you were to add your own recipes? Hopefully you would put a little square at the top so you can draw your picture or just take a picture and put it on the top. You would probably have something to write for the ingredients. You might have something to write for the instructions. Simple, easy, something your customers would probably love to do. Slap your logo on the front, and now you got a super easy book. And once you've created it once, all you have to do is change that cover to whatever you want to change it to, and you can basically create it for different things. You could create a holiday one. You could create one for children. You could create one for families. And you could have these different books for sale in your restaurant with your logo on it, with your brand on it, whatever you need. So that is how you would do low content for a restaurant. Don't worry if you're a store, construction company, mobile, I'm going to get to you in a minute. Let me just finish with restaurants because we all have been to a restaurant, and hopefully this is getting the wheels spinning in your head. For a medium content book, this is generally stuff like coloring books and activity books. There are sites where you can go and you can buy pictures that you can put into any kind of coloring book. Now think about it. If you're a restaurant, how great would it be to be able to offer coloring pages to the young patrons that come into your restaurants? Not only do the kids love it, but their parents love it as well. Later in the month, I'm going to show you where you can get 100 different pages for $2 or even free. But you can also take these images and you could put them into a coloring book and you could sell them online. There's a lot of people who are making hundreds and even thousands of dollars a month on just one coloring book. You could take some of those pages, you could create an ebook out of it, and you could tell people, hey, we have a kids club for this restaurant. Go sign up for the email list and you'll be able to download 10 pictures for the kids to color. and will notify you when these restaurant events happen for kids. There's a lot of things you could do with your youngest patrons if you wanted to create a kids club for your restaurant. Those are the 3 options that you could have if you have a restaurant. Now, if you have a store, the 3 options again for you: low content, you could create some kind of shopping journal for your patrons. For medium content, you could create something like a picture book, maybe just a body where people could actually draw things on the body, draw the outfits of clothes that you're selling. It'd be a fun book, or even an activity book where you would do something like the different styles of fashion that you guys sell. You could do things like word searches, crossword puzzles. And again, there's places where you go to buy that information for very cheap, which I will tell you about later in the month when I do the information on how to put those books together. Again, if this is interesting to you, I'll make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when they come out. For the third part, for a shop, one of the best books I ever read was actually called What Not to Wear. And I don't remember who the authors were. That book made a big impact on how I dress and what I feel comfortable in. And you could do something like 5 to 10 pages of that, or you could do more. If you have more information that you want to share, you could put that into a small ebook to get people on your email list, or you could put it on a larger book and actually sell that. Now, for high content books that go in eBooks, if they are longer, you can sell them with Kindle. And there are ways that I'm going to show you later in the month about how to also create that for Audible. I'm going to show you how to do that quick and easy and basically create a book with the camera without ever actually having to type. Let's get to now construction companies or mobile businesses. Again, no content stuff would be journals. If you were a construction company, what kind of information do you wish your customers had before they ever talk to you? I'm sure a lot of your customers have come to you with pictures and notes and a notebook of just random stuff. They're trying to show you things. I want my project to look like this. I want this added. Here's my Pinterest board. Here's this, here's that. And you probably get a little frazzled because they're frazzled. And you're thinking, you don't know what you really want. Sometimes sitting down and actually sketching everything out comes in really handy. I see a lot of HGTV designers do that. They sit down with their customers and with the laptop and then they try to design it in the computer. If you could create some kind of journal that you would want for your customers to have, whether you give it to them or you actually sell it to them, but it would help them organize the notes in a way that's good for you. All you're really doing is you're creating that into Word and then you're uploading it to KDP to create a print-on-demand book, or you're uploading it into Kindle so that they can download it in Kindle. Or again, you could turn it into an ebook. You could do a journal where they could actually put their notes, or you could actually make it a high-content book by putting in what it is that you want them to do in order to organize themselves. Or maybe it's something that you would just teach to people who are doing some kind of home renovation or business renovation, whatever it is your specialty is. The same thing goes for animal groomers or other mobile companies. If there's something that you can teach to your customers that would help you work with them better, create that in Word, because that could be your ebook that's going to get them in the newsletter. That could be the Kindle book that you sell and also goes on to Audible, or it could be a print-on-demand book. Medium content book for construction could be so much fun. You could do sketches of just rooms. Like, here's a room, where are your windows? And you could have them actually sketch it into the book. Think about how much time that would save you, because then they're actually trying to write out where they want stuff. You could put different floor plans. You could actually not only help them organize, but they're going to love that. That's something that you could sell. And for something like dog groomers, you could have a medium content book with pictures of different types of dogs. Do they have curly hair? Do they not have curly hair? And they could be dressed up. Stuff like that. Start thinking about, if you were to do a medium content book, which isn't just blank pages, but it's not a lot of words either, it's somewhere in between the middle, what would you give to your customers? So those are the kind of things that you could do for the 3 different types of books. And those are the things I'm going to be talking about for the rest of the month. The next video that I'm going to be doing in this series is literally going to be how to create medium content books, where to find the stuff that you would put into the book for free so that you don't have to create it yourself. You don't necessarily have to go into AI. A lot of it is free. If you're interested in that, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. If you like this video, please let me know by hitting the like button, leaving a comment below. As a content creator, it could be a little difficult sometimes trying to figure out what it is that you guys want and need. Let me know, because I will be happy to research that for you. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.